Jill Rippchen. I had my leg amputated on September 12th of 2018. I moved in here 20 days after the amputation, and nobody could believe it. Disabled is basically unable to, and I don't feel unable to do anything. I can do anything I want to do, at any time. I had my leg amputated, and I'm about to get a prosthetic leg and take it from there. I probably wouldn't, just because it's not an offensive word. It's just not a word I apply to myself. But I mean, I don't think that they would be saying it offensively, so it wouldn't bother me at all. Because disabled often in society projects that you're unable to do certain things, or most things, or whatever. It's a word that suggests less than, and I don't feel less than in any way. You need help. Sometimes you can't work. They'll act like, oh, well, how do you live? Often people will want, say, can I open the door? Do I need help? Do they want me to? Which is nice. I'd rather they err on that side, but I also sometimes get absolutely no help. But it's my fault. People will say to me, can I get you some help? Do you need help? And I'll say, no, I can do it myself. And they'll take it kind of like, oh, I was just trying to help you. And I can be too hard sometimes, but then I'll say to them, yeah, but what about the times when you're not here? I need to know how to do it for myself. Oh, okay, I get it now. So then they understand that I'm just trying to, I really am just trying to build up the strength that I need to do the things that I need to do. It's not about not wanting their help. I'm trying to learn how to accommodate myself. It's all kind of new to me. Even still, a year later, I find myself in situations that I've never been in before. I'm hell-bent on trying to find ways for me to do it, and then I never get any help with people pushing my chair, and I overdo it because I notice that almost everybody here in a wheelchair is pushed. And almost anywhere we go, the people get pushed. I don't get pushed, and it's mainly my doing because I put out there, don't help me, I need to learn how to do this on my own. And even though it would be nice sometimes to just get to put my feet up and, get a ride, but it's my doing, so. It's often guys with guys. They'll want to, look at me, I'm the stud. Usually they won't even ask. They'll just, all of a sudden, they'll come up behind you and you'll feel, lightness in your wheeling, and they've just come up and started pushing you. They didn't ask you whether you needed it or not. And, I never take offense to that because it's just, they really are usually trying to help. But when you're asking me about people trying to look good, it's usually a guy trying to impress other guys. It's tougher, as you can imagine. Everything that you do with two legs, I have to do with one leg. Transferring from the bed to the chair can be difficult, although I'm very lucky to have a lot of upper body strength. When I'd be walking with friends, they wanted to go furniture shopping, so I just went with them. And all of a sudden they'd go, oh, let's go in here. Oh, well, I can't. They're not thinking that way, and I never did before either, sadly. I'm embarrassed to say I never looked either, but you all of a sudden can't help but notice you can't get in there. No, I'm not big on sympathy. Although it's nice to hear sometimes, like anybody, that people acknowledge that you've been through a lot. For instance, none of my friends have even been in the hospital, much less, my close friends, I'll say. My 6 close lifelong friends. None of them have been in the hospital. None of them have had a major surgery. I've had nothing but major surgeries. I had 4 knee replacements even before this happened. So, I've just been through a lot. And it's nice when people acknowledge, boy, you've really been through it and you've come out great, Yes, I like hearing that. So if that's sympathy, occasionally it's nice to hear that people recognize your fight, the hard work, your hard fight. I don't care for the, oh, poor you, poor, you know. It's not for me. This is my life. It's just the cards I got dealt. People can say, acknowledge that it must be difficult or something, but then that's not sympathy to me. That's just kind of an acknowledgement. So I don't like the poor me type thing that, you know, people are extending you the opportunity to say, yeah, it's poor me, you know, but it doesn't feel that way. And I'm getting a computerized leg, so nobody else has that. You don't need to worry about me. You know, that's often what I'll say. Don't feel sorry for me. I'm about to get a cool leg and I'll beat you at the races. I don't take much time thinking about the downside of it. Try and accept it for what it is. I'm going to be a better person for this experience the rest of my life, for what I will have learned from it. And, you know, do I wish it hadn't happened? Sure. Well, it's an emotional thing. I mean, it's not that common. We've all seen somebody like that, but once it's you, it's a bigger reality, and you realize not that many people get a limb amputated. One of the things that always bugs me is people will say, oh, you're diabetic? No, I'm not diabetic, because the most common reason you lose a limb is diabetes, you know, and blood circulation and such. I was at a hospital originally when this first happened. When I was in the hospital, almost everybody around me was getting an amputation, but almost 90% of them was for diabetes. Anyway, just what I would want to say to the youth. Obviously, I'm older, and I have failed to mention I have no family remaining, nobody. So I'm kind of alone in the world. I do have a niece and a nephew, but they're living their lives. I feel close to them emotionally, but they don't support me. They're not near me. When this happened to me, it happened to me, and me alone. I have some wonderful friends that were there for me and took great care of me. They would come visit me at the hospital. They came and visited me in rehab. They moved me into here. So they were wonderful in that supportive role. But what I would want to say to young people who maybe don't get support or are going through it alone, you know, don't sweat it. Think of what's available today in terms of prosthetics and stuff. As you go down the road, and if they're youth, they're young, what they're going to see in their lifetime and in terms of prosthetics and what the advances they're going to make in limb research in their lifetime, they might be able to reattach the nerves and this and that, the thing that forced the amputation to begin with. So, you know, they don't know what their life's going to hold, but just keep fighting. Don't let your friends or your parents or anybody's perceptions of the limitations that you should have now, don't let them affect your life. The only thing that limits you is you. I mean, that's been my experience, and I find it to be very true. The only time I would ever get in trouble is the limitations I would place on myself.